Welcome back to your favorite Sacramento sports show,
Beam City Sports.
We are back at the Beam City Sports Bar here in a beautiful day in Sacramento. At the Beam City Sports Bar, how we feeling, boys?
Feeling good. Very nice weather here in Sacramento. Enjoying it before it gets too hot, before we have to do a pool episode, which will be pretty fun. But it's nice.
Yes, sir.
Good to be back.
Yeah.
Hey, it might already be too hot out here, but we gonna deal with it. We lived in Sacramento our whole lives. We used to it.
Yes.
Jackson, want to give some love to you. Graduated college
Yes,
this
sir.
morning.
Thank you.
Mr. Lozano is a graduate now. How you feeling?
Feel great.
Yeah.
I've really been enjoying this playoff basketball as an unbiased fan.
Yeah, I bet.
No,
We're all,
no team
we're all
in
at
it
that
makes
point.
it a little more enjoyable.
Yeah.
Had a little bit of fun
stress.
on Wednesday. Wednesday was pretty.
Yeah, seeing the Warriors
Fun.
get knocked out on Wednesday. So yeah, we're down to the final 5 teams in the NBA. Game 7 of Denver and the Thunder is tomorrow, so that should be fun. But yeah, we saw the Knicks advance to the Eastern Conference Finals for the first time since 2000. So 25 years since they've been this far in the playoffs. So
We
pretty
were
crazy.
not even born yet.
Yeah, none of us were born.
None of us were born yet.
You know,
Shout out Allen Houston.
crazy random fact I saw is that Rick Brunson was on the team.
Oh my
That's how long
god,
ago it was.
that's crazy.
Here we go. They scripted that. They had to get him here.
Might be in the script. But yeah, we have a lot to go over today. We're going to be previewing Game 7. We're going to get Jackson's thoughts on the draft lottery since, us three talked about it on Wednesday. Was it rigged? We'll ask you later in the show. Then we'll get into Luke's Lock of the Week, ICU, preview the conference finals, and then go over who the most important player on the remaining 5 teams in the NBA are and who we're picking to win it all. Also, some baseball talk at the end. The A's and the Giants are playing right now. Me and Devin got a bet going right now. It looks like Dev might take that bet, but I'm confident the A's can get the next 2. Also, the Dodgers playing good baseball. We see the A's in 2 of those games in that series, so definitely going to have to get into that.
Hey, we got one.
Yeah, we got one. I'm not mad. The A's got one. But yeah, so it's going to be a fun episode. So go like, subscribe. We hit 250 subscribers. It's going on the rise every day. We're at 253 now.
Yes, Lord.
Go follow the TikTok. Luke, shout out to Luke. Got the Spotify going.
Yeah.
So if you're an
Tune in on
audio
Spotify.
listener, yeah, go follow us on Spotify. Going to be posting every show there. But yeah, so guess we can start out with what we saw last night. The Knicks are going to the Eastern Conference Finals. They beat the Celtics 4-2. Shout out to Milo. I know you're mad over there for your Celtics, but it's crazy that the Knicks really did it, man.
Yeah.
I was confident in them, but I was really just more rooting for them than confident that they would actually do it. But they actually did it, man. They actually did it.
Both of my predictions for the teams are out now.
Yeah.
So,
You got Lakers Celtics finals, right? Yeah.
Lakers Celtics
Yeah.
finals, and I definitely missed out on that $1 million. So, yeah, no, it was a very impressive but also embarrassing game to watch last night.
Yeah.
But it's about, like you said earlier in the show a few weeks ago, it's hard to go back to back. It's almost, it's not impossible to go back to back because we've seen it before, but now it is.
Second longest drought
Wow.
since, ever.
Yeah.
That was,
Yeah.
Last time was 17-18 Warriors.
Shout out.
Yeah, clearly everything has to go perfect, and including injuries.
Yeah.
And you never root for them, or you always want to see a series between 2 good teams with all their best players. So there's never that. If Jason Tatum didn't get hurt, or if Jaylen Brown wasn't hurt through the whole series. So you always want to see everybody healthy, but at the end of the day, I said it could have maybe gone to 7. I was lying, bro. The Knicks they're too good. They handled business.
Yeah. Celtics got 1 without JT, but Game 6 it got ugly. Got ugly pretty fast.
Yeah.
Jaylen Brown tried to do everything he could in the first half. Seemed like he was the only one scoring the ball. No one else really showed up for Boston. Drew Holiday with the horrible performance, 1 for 8 from the field. Porzingis 4 points in only 11 minutes, and Derek White went 3 for 11. So, Dev, your key to that game was Derek White being Steph Curry, and that just didn't happen. It happened the game before. Pretty sure he had 35 or something like that the game before.
He had like 8 threes.
Yeah, he had like 8 threes in Game 5. But
They all suck. Send them all to sack.
Yeah. Don't be surprised though. If Boston, switches things up.
Yeah, for sure.
Going forward, because there's not a lot of money.
Pretty bad cap situation
Yeah.
because of the extension. I think they gave Jason Tatum kicks in this summer, I think, and so most likely Holiday and Porzingis or one or the other are going to be gone this summer.
Yeah, those 2 are probably the most likely to be gone.
And the whole thing with Porzingis, I don't know what happened to him. They said he's been sick since
For
like
months.
mid-March.
Yeah.
And so it's just the fact that he's like been unable to breathe. They said he didn't play the second half in Game 6, I think, because he couldn't breathe.
I feel like there's been a player who gets sick on a team, and then it'll spread through all the play. 3 or 4 players will later throughout the season miss days, literally back to back to back. It wasn't who else was sick?
Well, I feel like
a couple of the Warriors were sick in the Rockets series, so it's just there's got to be a way to isolate it a little bit better. I feel like.
I mean, that's kind of how sickness goes, especially when you're a sweaty basketball player. It's a physical sport.
I feel like it's never been this bad though.
Those guys will probably be gone for Boston next year, Porzingis and Drew Holiday. But on the Knicks side of things, everyone showed up to play. Jalen Brunson at 23, OG at 23, Cat came out aggressive with 21, Josh Hart a triple-double, and Mikal Bridges with 22. So that's really all you need. That's
shout out Deuce.
Yeah, Deuce also with 10 off the bench.
The Knicks are a 16-game team.
Yeah, they are.
Their regular season record will not justify how good they are.
Yeah.
They don't use their depth a ton, but they have such a great top-heavy starting five that in the playoffs, it's all that matters.
Yeah, for sure.
You need some role players, but Mitchell Robinson and Deuce McBride are good enough.
Yeah.
To fill in those small gaps.
And Mitchell Robinson hit 1 free throw yesterday. The crowd went crazy. But yeah, going from the Knicks, I mean, Tibbs does scare me though. They were up 35 in the fourth, and they still had their guys in the game.
When I was watching it, I was
chill.
This is Chicago.
It's literally Derrick Rose.
That's all I was thinking about. I was like, get him out. Get him out.
Yeah, I mean, in times like that, he should definitely. I mean, up 30, you should definitely get him off the floor. But I mean, to your point, I said that the other day. I feel like they're conditioned for it.
Yeah, they are.
There's been a lot of soft tissue injuries. We were talking about that, but we haven't really seen it with the Knicks. And knock on wood, not to jinx it, I don't really think we will. I think they're built the right amount.
Yeah,
for sure.
They got their guys. They're gonna play them no matter what the score is. That's for sure. But yeah, going from a Celtics fan perspective, I really hope people don't come out and say, "Oh, the Celtics would have won the series if Tatum didn't get hurt," because that's just not true.
Yeah.
The Knicks already had that game 4 wrapped up when Tatum did get hurt.
Yeah.
And they beat them 2 times in Boston with a fully healthy Celtics team. So there's nothing you can really say.
Yeah.
The Knicks really did it. We did it.
Anything is possible.
We did it. Yeah. Well,
they're the team to beat.
Yeah, they're the team to beat.
100%. You could look at the Nuggets, you could look at the Thunder and be like, "Oh, don't count them out." The Knicks are looking like the best team.
Any of the remaining teams, matchup-wise, they match up good with all of them.
Yeah,
the Pacers, their wings are great. The Josh Hart, Bridges, and OG Anunoby trio defensively is just phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
And Josh Hart's just ridiculous.
I'm gonna say
rebound.
the only team that could probably match up is the Timberwolves.
That would be a crazy
The
series.
Timberwolves might be the only team that could actually pull out 6 games, make it 7-game series against them. I think.
Yeah, I'm hoping that's going to be the finals. Is the Knicks and the Timberwolves. That would be really fun to watch. 2 teams made a crazy trade with each other in the offseason.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Star players going head to head.
About that.
Yeah. It's going to be fun to watch for sure.
That's a WWE storyline.
Yeah.
Did you see the promo for game 1 of the Knicks Pacers series? It was in the WrestleMania font because
that's crazy.
Brunson and Tyrese at WrestleMania a while ago. Yeah. It was sick.
I don't know how the NBA predicted that, but those 2 guys,
scripted.
Brunson and Halliburton, going against each other in the WWE last year. And now we're seeing them go against each other in the conference finals.
Did they predict it?
I like how it's a script, man.
Or did they watch that night of WWE and then they were like, here's how this is going to go?
Yeah.
It's going to get us a lot of clicks right here.
For sure. Well, from the Celtics side, Tatum is going to be out for a long time.
He's probably out all of next year.
Yeah, next
probably
year.
out all of next year. It's definitely tough to see. Never want to see a guy go down with an injury. And he was going off before he got hurt. 40 points that game. Nothing bad you can really say about Jason Tatum, man.
Yeah.
All the haters are quiet now because he really showed everything he could.
Yeah.
He gave it his all. Just a tough spot. Great players get injured all the time. I think he's going to come back stronger than ever, though. So.
I mean, especially your highest paid players too. I mean, we know they might do some construction with the roster this offseason, but it's well, where's half of that money going? Oh, to a guy who's going to be out for damn near a whole year.
Yeah.
And you can't really predict that. That's just what sucks about the NBA.
I think they'll move Peyton Pritchard up to the starting point guard if they move Drew.
can see that.
Derek White, Jaylen Brown, and then I don't know what happens to Al Horford at that point, honestly.
Yeah,
He's still solid, but I think he'll maybe play one more year with a different contender, or he'll just stay.
I can see
He
him
goes
staying
back
in
to Atlanta and
Boston.
retires.
Oh yeah, he does deserve that.
Right.
Actually, he could get a little farewell tour in
feel like-
Atlanta.
Bro, he was in Atlanta 20 years ago. Oh my god.
They were nice.
He's been in the league so long.
Yeah, they were nice. Al Horford's been everywhere though.
Yeah.
Seems like he's
Right.
been on the Thunder,
I mean-
been on the Sixers.
And he's been, like, just good.
Yeah.
Especially, like, these last few years of, like, his later half of the career. Like, it's just,
Really bought into that.
Yeah.
Just defensive role
Yeah.
player role.
you
and
know what
he
he's
can
going to give you 9
Stretch the floor. The only bad year I remember out of Al Horford is really when he was on the Sixers for 1 year.
Yeah.
And the only reason that the Sixers signed him was because he was known as the Embiid stopper. So they wanted to sign
Oh, I
me. They
remember
paid
that.
him a bag, and he came and he didn't have a good year with Philly. Yeah, what did he average in that year in Philly?
12 points a
Okay.
game,
Didn't shoot good from the
6
field, though.
rebounds, call it 7,
Yeah.
4 assists, and a steal.
Yeah,
but,
it just didn't work out like they thought, but
Yeah.
they had the Embiid stopper on their team.
But,
So
I mean, he literally dropped that year and then went back up
Yeah,
immediately. When he joined the
exactly.
Thunder, he was on the Thunder next year
Yeah.
and went back up.
he plays great on pretty much any team in the whole league would want Al Horford. So yeah,
Besides the Sixers,
besides the Sixers.
they're just kind of a laughing stock now.
Yeah.
But
Well, before we move on from this game, Jaylen Brown, coming out, he said he's the best driver in the NBA. In the first half, he was going off, and I was giving him a lot of respect in that first half because all the attention was on him, and he just looked so calm and cool out there. Like he didn't care what defender they were throwing at him. He was going to get his shot. But then second half came around, he started struggling, but he still showed me that he can be the best player on a playoff team next year. I think.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, he has to be the best player on the team next year.
I
Without
could
a
see
doubt.
him averaging 26 a game.
That's
next
what I
year.
was gonna
Yeah,
say.
he's
He'll-
gonna
he'll
put up
average
numbers.
26 to
Yeah.
30 next year, just
Yeah.
because he's the number one option.
Yeah.
Wait, who?
But,
Oh,
Jaylen
Jaylen
Brown.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
but I don't think they'll be much better than maybe 6, 7 seed.
Oh yeah, the East is going to be crazy next year.
Especially if the Bucks trade Giannis, maybe fix.
Yeah. You know who Jaylen Brown played with in college?
I think Wait, where did he go again?
Cal.
Oh,
He played with
Aaron
know?
Rodgers.
You know who I'm thinking of?
I think
Still
I
playing?
See
No, still coaching.
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 Yep,
14. What?
the best G League coach out there.
Bobby?
What? The best G League coach.
Best G League. I don't know G League coaches, man.
Well,
Nah, bro was good.
yesterday was 1 year since I interviewed
Nicholas
him.
Kerr.
Nicholas Kerr.
Now,
he
see-
played with Nick in college at Cal.
Oh, what?
Yeah. And I asked him about it when I interviewed him, and he said he did not expect Jaylen Brown to be anywhere near this good. he was super unpolished in college. Still, I mean, he doesn't have a great left hand, but he had zero left hand at that point. Couldn't
Damn.
shoot the ball. But now, he's developed his game, and yeah, he's just a great player. So shout out to Nick. Shout out to Jaylen. But yeah, what's next for the Celtics? Just got to get Tatum back. Probably trade those guys because of salary. The offseason is going to be crazy, man.
It's gonna be a crazy.
it's going to be a
Yeah.
heavy trade
Yeah.
offseason.
Wasn't last offseason also like
It was.
insane or 2 offseasons
We
ago?
saw the
Last
Cat trade.
offseason?
We saw
Well, yeah, Cat,
that was more at the end.
Bridges.
The
Was the
Bridges.
PG
Yeah.
trade last year, or that was 2
That
years
was-
ago?
That was,
PG
that was
was a
signing.
free
PG
agent.
was a free
Oh,
agent.
yeah.
DeRozan was a free agent.
DeRozan,
Yeah.
shout out.
This summer, though, it's
yeah.
like
This summer's
Giannis,
gonna be
Bam.
insane.
Well, we're gonna go hear more Walker, or not Walker Kessler, Rory Markkinen, and then they're
Yeah.
not gonna trade him.
Okay.
So that'll
For
be
real.
fun.
Walker Kid.
It does make me feel good as a Kings fan, though, that there's a lot of teams that have to make
Shopping
moves
players, yeah.
because that means we can capitalize on that.
Y'all
we
want DeMar?
we can make some moves. And before the playoffs started, I didn't know what teams would really be interested in any of the guys the Kings had because I didn't know what teams would want to make moves. But now it's really known that a lot of teams have to make moves. So it's good to see for the Kings side of things. Not saying that they're gonna be a championship contender next year, but they're gonna make some moves to be a different
Hey,
team.
hopefully a little bit better than this year.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll take that.
Yeah. Just need
Maybe-
to step in the right direction.
Maybe 8 or 9.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be happy about it, but I'll take it.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. No.
Hey, then you
We're
only gotta
not-
win one playing game to get to the playoffs.
I would
Hey,
rather
man,
not.
if Giannis goes west,
Yeah, no,
Giannis
bro.
is Zach, baby.
Listen,
Giannis
and the
is Zach.
Blazers looking better,
Yeah,
and then
you mean west of Sacramento?
Yeah, Giannis.
sure.
Giannis and Zach.
Right now, we're looking like a playing team, right? Giannis is coming to the west.
Mavs
Cooper's
getting-
coming to the west.
Yeah, it's gonna be
Jaren's gonna
insane.
have 2 hands next year with
Oh,
Wemby,
God.
and they said
they're
they
gonna
might
pay
pick
me.
second.
They're gonna. Yeah, they said they're gonna draft Jalen Harper.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that.
That's
Very
interesting because then they don't get Giannis.
They definitely don't
they
get Giannis.
can't get Giannis without the second pick.
This
Would
might
you
sound
want
so
to have
crazy.
Giannis? Is that what you're
I was
gonna
gonna say? Giannis, I don't think would be a good fit in San Antonio.
That's what I've
Next to
been thinking.
Wemby?
Yeah,
Put
next to
KD
Wemby.
there.
That means the paint is completely clogged.
Yeah.
Wemby's literally going to have to be a floor spacer, and De'Aaron, the ball is going to be taken completely out of
Wemby's
De'Aaron's hands
7'5".
because
He can just-
no one's scoring in the paint on them. That's for sure.
De'Aaron's
But-
gonna have to take a backseat. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, he already is going to have to take a backseat, but
Well,
if they get Giannis,
Especially
way
if
more.
Castle develops too.
Yeah.
If they're able to
Like-
keep him.
Yeah,
I don't think going to yeah, maybe for De'Aaron's mind and his like legacy for himself, San Antonio is going to be great for him. But for him as a great basketball player,
like a points per game.
to make
yeah.
make history for himself and like try and like get a name all the way up there, San Antonio's not going to do good for him.
yeah,
I
That's
think.
the
I mean, he's
thing.
gonna
I think
win,
at
but-
this
Yeah.
point in time, he doesn't care about that. He was like, I will go do that. Like that's why he wanted to go play with
Yeah.
Wemby.
Yeah,
that's true.
Like he wanted guys better than him to come here. Like he was like telling Keegan, he was like, I'm not gonna be the reason if we do go on a run, it's gonna be you. And guys
Yeah, that's
like
true.
Yeah.
So I think he was kind of already had that mindset made up already. But yeah, I mean, they're gonna be so
KD
stacked.
so good.
KD would be a way better fit in
I
San
think,
Antonio
yeah.
than Giannis, even though, I mean, Giannis and Wemby down low would be crazy. No one's getting
Yeah,
any
no
layups
one's
on them.
stopping that.
But like I said about Giannis, he needs the ball pretty much every possession. And De'Aaron would end up being a corner sitter because Giannis does not like to do pick and rolls. Giannis does
Yeah.
not set screens. Don't know why, but Giannis is not a screen setter. He makes point guards sit in the corner and, go to even the dunker spot like Drew Holiday did and just, takes away from their game. And De'Aaron's not a shooter by any means.
No.
So that, I don't think, would be a good fit. Hey, Giannis going to Golden State, man. I don't know how it happens.
I'm cool
Giannis
with that.
going to Golden State. Giannis going to Golden State.
I'm cool
I
with
don't
that.
know.
I don't know how it happens. Sign and trade Kuminga, give Kuminga the max, whatever. Trade him to Milwaukee, put Moody in there.
So if you sign and trade Kuminga, then you're hard capped. Which means
Yeah.
if you get Giannis on that max,
Yeah.
you're gonna have three guys
Sure,
and
that's fine.
barely have any money just for vet minutes.
Yeah. But could we still have Draymond? Could we have Jimmy,
No.
Draymond, Steph, and Giannis?
No.
Okay, well,
You guys
then
are
it's out the
that's
window.
making up like 85% of your cap
Yeah.
already. Because that's 60 mil for two guys
And that's
each.
zero shooting. All right, we're back from our short break, and now we're going to be getting into who will win Game 7 tomorrow. Nuggets versus the Thunder. It's going to be in OKC. The series has been crazy, back and forth. So, yeah, Game 6 was, a fun game to watch. Very close game all the way through. But who do you guys have? Game 7.
Well, I mean, Ron just convinced me. He yelled at me through the window. They got that championship DNA. I understand they've shown that they are, they deserve the 1 seed in the West so far up until now, but, this is when that really kicks in, the Game 7s, where is that? Is it in OKC?
It's in
I'm assuming?
OKC.
Yeah. I mean, at home, they'll have that advantage, but even though Denver, this is their second Game 7 in back-to-back series, I'll take them.
Yeah. Okay. Luke, who you rolling with?
I want Brody so bad to
Yeah.
win this shit.
Yeah.
I'm rolling
I
with
know
the
you do.
Nuggets. Like I'm rooting for them, but it's gonna be tough to do that in OKC. Yes, they do have that championship experience, the playoff experience. They know what it takes, but I mean, playing against the Thunder this year in OKC has probably been one of the tougher things to do as a road team.
Yeah. OKC is not easy to play.
I think here's I'll call it, if J-Dub goes crazy, then it's gonna be OKC. But if he has another game like Game 6,
Shout out Lance Stevenson.
I think it really comes down to the J-Dub game. Like if he has a good J-Dub game, I think the Thunder will take it. But like last game, and he's been really inconsistent game to game, so it just depends on what J-Dub they get, I think.
Yeah, that was the X factor for me before the playoffs even started, was can J-Dub be the number 2 on a championship team? And I'm saying no. I've been saying no all year. I love his game, but he's not that level of a player yet.
Yeah.
And we're seeing it. I mean, that game he had 33 was his best game, but besides that, he's been pretty inconsistent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it is dependent on J-Dub, obviously, but I also think there hasn't been a game really for the Thunder where everybody's just like hitting.
Yeah.
And that's one of the biggest things for them is they can always, if they have a game where guys are hitting their shots, they're gonna win by like 30.
Yeah. I mean, that's true.
So, but then again, there's also they have had a decent defensive game plan on Jokic, I feel like.
Yeah.
Whereas like Hartenstein and like Chet have done well doubling, and Jalen Williams has done great on them too.
I like his
The
game.
last two games though, Jokic's been Jokic, to be fair.
Yeah.
But I feel like because Aaron Gordon's injury, that's a huge blow for them. If he plays, that's hamstring strain. I mean, Steph was out the whole entire series.
Yeah.
Right? Guys, hamstring strains are usually out a week. If
Yeah.
he tries to play through it, he probably will, knowing him.
Yeah.
But
It's gonna get worse.
it's just going to get worse. And realistically, it might become grade 2 or grade 3. Then he's out for. Then it just comes off the bone.
That could be big.
And even if they win, then he's out the rest of the playoffs.
Yeah.
So I think it's probably because then also Porter Jr.'s hurt too.
Yeah.
So I think it'll probably be Thunder, honestly.
Damn, so you're going Thunder in Game
Yeah.
7. You're rocking with the Nuggets to the Brody.
Yeah, I mean, not just because
You want him to win.
I want them to win.
Yeah.
I want them to win. This is going to be like some of the best basketball that we've seen in a long time.
Tomorrow,
I think it might
yeah.
be one of the best games in the whole playoffs this year. Because one, you have the Nuggets who are trying to stay in championship contention, stay with that conversation for the next couple of years to come. And then you have the Thunder who are a brand new organization trying to start their first dynasty, successful dynasty at least.
Yeah.
So it's like both these teams have so much to fight for,
They
so
do.
much to play for. And I mean, I'm so excited for it. And then I'm also happy that, like Jackson said, I don't have a team to worry about.
Yeah.
I could just sit back and enjoy some good basketball.
I
Exactly.
hope
Yeah.
the Game 7 is better than the other ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the
Yeah.
Rockets-Warriors one was, it was to start, and the Warriors kind of just, the Rockets had no offense going that game. And then the other one between Nuggets and Clippers, Nuggets just obliterated
Yeah.
them.
So we haven't seen a crazy Game 7 yet, but I would not be surprised if this is the game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
these will be the two teams to
Yeah,
give it.
I mean, it's been close some games this series. We saw the Nuggets pull out some close games. Aaron Gordon hit the game winner in Game 1, and we also saw Shai clutch up in a couple games. So yeah, it's been really close this whole series. But last game, Game 6, the Nuggets won 119 to 107. The X factor in the game was my boy Julian Strother. Came off the bench with 15 points. All of them were much needed. Yeah, he hasn't been getting playing time most of the series, and throughout the regular season, it was some games he played a lot, some games he wouldn't play at all. But yeah, he had 15 points.
I think all 15 were second half. Too.
Yeah, all 15 in the second half.
Damn.
Hitting threes, getting to the rim, just being aggressive. He plays like Jordan Poole, man. And before the year started, he was one of my guys to watch out for, knowing that he was going to have a bigger role on this Nuggets team. And now, when they need him the most, he's showing up in big moments. So next game, especially like you mentioned, Aaron Gordon being hurt, he only had 5 points last game. MPJ being hurt all series, only had 10 points. They're gonna need a guy like Julian Strother and even a guy like Peyton Watson to come off the bench and make a huge impact. And I think they can.
Because we know what Jokic and Murray are going to do.
Yeah.
Murray is. I don't even know how we're going to have a conversation about him in 10 years from now.
I know.
Dude.
Jokic's regular season, it's like 19 points a game.
Yeah, it's never anything too crazy.
But then-
Postseason, he turns into like prime Steph.
Yeah. It's every playoffs he shows up and he's ready to play. And he's also a sickness, like Dev said. Everyone's sick right now. Maybe it's the allergies or something, but Jamal Murray.
Sick though, at 25.
Yeah, it's 25. So
Stay in your room by yourself.
that was Jamal's blue game.
Deadass.
That's what I was saying.
But yeah, Shai came out ready at 32 and 6. Chet had 19 and 11. J-Dub went 3 of 16 from the field, only 6 points. Did have 7 rebounds and 10 assists. So I mean, still provided a lot of good things out there, but just they need more scoring out of him. It can't just be the Shai game. Chet, he gets his 20 most nights, but they need J-Dub to have 20 to 25.
Chet needs some weight on his bones.
Yeah.
Because
He's so skilled though.
He's skilled.
He is,
yeah, he's a very skilled player, but that's still not going to last. Like for people to figure out his game.
Has put on like 15 pounds though since he got
yes.
drafted.
Doesn't look
Yeah.
like it.
But I think, like 7'1" frame, 7'2"
Yeah,
frame.
well, that's the thing. It's so hard to put on weight for that, and then he's also still really young, so there's still time for
He's
him
been
to mature.
hurt a couple times too, so it's
Yeah.
like with those couple lower bodies,
And they
like,
happen
you can't
freak
really work
injuries.
out. Yeah.
It's just like seeing him with Jokic down low. Like Jokic was winning that matchup
Oh, yeah.
6 times out.
That's why they have Hartenstein.
That's why I like
Yeah.
Hartenstein.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hartenstein has been
Yeah.
able to help out with. I mean, Jokic spins the other way, and it's just a big body Hartenstein right there.
Having a full off season where he could just put on some meat. Pause. I think because he was hurt and then the injuries, like I said, but just having a full off season and get with Hartenstein. Like how you get big, bro? Tell me how you get big, and then get him big. So
If he can get
that'll be
I
typical.
think he's like 212, 215 right now, which is
Damn.
really.
Yeah.
But I think he came in the league at like a sub 200.
Oh, yeah.
So
He was
7'1",
That's
7'2" is pretty
that's
insane.
pretty-
Looking at him now, how skinny he is crazy because you're like, damn, a year or two ago he was like paper thin.
Yeah.
Skinnier.
Black Stanley.
So I think
Damn.
Pretty much why he got injured is because he was that.
Yeah.
his game
Yeah.
wouldn't really change if he gets to like 230.
And what were they playing in the Drew League when LeBron went to go block
So
him,
his
or he went to go
injury-
block LeBron or something.
Yeah, his injury was called a Liz Frank fracture.
Yeah.
So it's like this mid joint in your foot that doesn't really move. So it's like when you plant, it's it's like between where your toes, like tarsals, metatarsals, right, back of the foot, front of the foot, and it just kind of shifts. So there's like a separation and a fracture in there. That is like one of the most rare injuries to get.
Oh,
so the fact that he's gotten that, and then also the other one for his hip earlier this year, it's just like, realistically, he's just had 2 freak injuries that have happened.
Yeah, that's true.
Look at Jackson using his degree on the day one.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Already using it.
Fresh out, baby.
But yeah, some other guys for the Thunder that have stepped up are like Caruso, Payson Wallace, and Lou Dort. They've all been pretty good this whole series.
Just
Caruso,
J-Dub.
yeah, Caruso didn't have a good regular season, it seemed like, but this playoffs he really has shown that he's one of the guys that you would love to have on any playoff team because he's going to make things happen.
Yeah.
He's going to hit some corner threes. Jackson's seen it firsthand with his team in 2020. He just makes winning plays, and he's just a winner.
He actually seems like the vet out there.
He is
the vet.
He's the oldest guy
But
in the game.
He looks 45.
It's insane because like he hasn't really had that much experience going into these many
he's
games.
really not that old.
Does all
But
the little
he
things that
just
you need.
exactly does all the little things that fill in the gaps that
Like,
all these young guys
there was
aren't even doing. So
Yeah.
he's stepping up big time for them.
There was a video I saw of him like just navigating screens,
Yeah.
and he said he talked to, who was it? Probably we talked to, but he said it was like talking about how you just make yourself skinny going through screens. And I'm watching him guard Jamal Murray. I'm like, he doesn't get hit by him ever.
Yeah.
And another guy that does that is Dennis Schroeder, but it's just like
Schroeder.
crazy to see that because so many guys give up on that and just switch.
Yeah.
But Caruso has made life difficult for Jamal Murray. Even regardless of his stats, he's made things difficult for him.
That's so important come playoff time too, because pretty much every time down the floor there's going to be a screen set somewhere,
Yeah.
especially on the ball. And if you're guarding the guy with the ball, then you got to know how to get over those. And that's going back to when I played basketball, that was always the toughest thing for me on defense was getting over a damn screen.
Especially
It's so hard. And then you got to switch onto the big, and then you're just cooked.
He
and then
could
there's nothing you
be
can do.
huge for them in Game 7 too. you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
And I bet he's happy to hear the news that UCLA may have found a cure for male baldness.
Shout out. Next year, Caruso might come in with that fresh lineup.
He gonna be even better if he's
Yeah,
clean.
he might be. But yeah, for my predictions for the Game 7, I'm going with the Nuggets as well. Just because,
Yes, sir.
I want to see a Nuggets-Timberwolves rematch, but I wouldn't be mad if either team won. I just think the X factor for the Nuggets is Christian Brown.
I was gonna say that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Christian Brown's
Christian
been
Brown.
huge.
It's been great.
Is it his second year in the league or third year?
Second.
It's second or third. I don't know, but
He won with Kansas, the Natty. So
won with Kansas.
If it was his second, then he definitely would have been in contention for most
3 years
improved.
Yeah,
which
he I
wasn't.
feel
I
like
think
he
it
should have.
might be longer than that because
Third?
he
Oh,
won
fourth
with
maybe?
Kansas, so it was UConn for the last 2 years,
Oh, okay.
and then so it might be his fourth.
It might be his fourth year. Yeah, you're right. But yeah, he had 23 points, 11 rebounds, 5 assists, and had 3 steals and 1 block. He's just the perfect player for this Nuggets team. The question about him has been his shot,
Third year.
but when he's hitting the shot, it's his third year. Okay.
Yeah,
When he-
how was he not? So, I'm sorry, didn't mean to interrupt.
No.
Why was he not part of most improved talks?
Yeah.
He's averaging like 15 a game, right?
He went from 7 to 15, 3 rebounds to
that's a
5,
huge jump.
Yeah.
1 to 2 assists,
Well, because-
and from half a steal to a steal.
Yeah.
The other guys were Dyson Daniels,
Yeah.
Cade, and Zubac. Who there was a lot of guys
Starters, too.
who just
Yeah.
took a huge.
It's just-
But he's been starting.
His
for the
name
last
just
Yeah.
wasn't.
year.
He got votes though. I think he was like 5th or
Yeah,
6th
I
in
feel like he
voting.
probably
Okay.
got some votes. So
Yeah.
he definitely got some love.
Sorry, my bad.
No, yeah, he definitely deserved that though. Yeah, Christian Brown. We'll see if he's hitting shots in Game 7 because if he's hitting shots, it might be over early. But if it does get into a close game, I'm more confident in the Nuggets down the stretch in a close game.
Yeah.
With the 2-man of Jamal Murray and Jokic, and then Shai really being the only guy they trust on offense in the clutch for that Thunder team. So
Yeah.
I'm going with the Nuggets, man.
I'm also gonna predict it goes into OT because we've already seen OT games. in
Yeah,
this.
that could be big.
It's gonna be an OT game. I
That
feel like.
Definitely could be big.
Yeah.
All right, well, before we get into Luke's Lock and ICU and the draft lottery, wanted to go over the Timberwolves Warriors Game 5 really quick. Yeah, it was 121 to 110. The final box score does not tell the full
No,
story.
it really doesn't.
Yeah, this was a blowout most of the game. It felt like the Warriors could never just cut it to under 20.
Yeah.
It was a struggle for them all game. Jimmy only taking 11 shots. I know the season's over. Don't want to harp on it too much, but damn,
Yeah.
Jimmy, you got to do more.
He only took like 9 the game before too.
Yeah.
That was really interesting to see because Jimmy knew he was the number one option, and he would just stop really being aggressive, which was interesting. He did that a lot in Miami too, though.
Yeah.
And that's what I did notice. Like I was watching them a couple years ago when they made their finals run.
Yeah.
Is that after that Bucks series where he had like a game where he had like 56, right?
Crazy.
Then the couple games later, he's like, I'm taking like 12 shots. He just has those moments where he isn't aggressive.
I don't understand it. I don't understand.
It's similar with like AD too.
Yeah.
So like every other day, it'd be
Every other
AD's,
game.
AD's dropping 40 and 20.
Yeah.
Next game, he's like 16 and 8.
I feel like that is different though because AD's a big and he kind of relies on guys to get him the ball in his spots. Jimmy has the ball most of the time, and it's really just up to him whether he wants to get to that mid range or try and get to the free throw line. I feel like every time Jimmy drives, he's going to get a foul call. But yeah, Pod showed up, 28 points for him.
Finally.
Yeah, Moody with 12. That was really it for the Warriors. Big series out of Kuminga though.
Yeah.
He's going to get paid.
Dude, he got his draft stock.
Yeah,
trade his stock up a lot.
He did a lot.
What do you guys think about that trade Jameson the other day, or at least you, because you're the only one that saw it?
What was it? Kuminga for who?
It was.
Well, he's unrestricted.
He's
It was
unrestricted,
Kuminga, Moody. Well, he is unrestricted. It would have to be sign and trade, but
I think the Warriors can offer him the most.
And
though.
a hard
That's
cap,
why it would
so
be.
financially, I don't really know how much, but like, would he want to stay in Golden
No,
State?
I don't think he wants to stay. I think he wants to leave.
He just sent it was Moody and Kuminga and a couple picks for Sabonis.
Oh, I did.
You
see
seen
that?
that?
I did see that. I low-key think that's a dub for both sides.
I take that.
I mean, 2 picks in there too. If I'm the Kings, I might have to entertain that.
Maybe.
I don't love it.
And
I don't love it.
And for the Warriors, I mean,
for the Warriors, that's a great
that's the
trade.
best center Steph's ever played with.
Yeah, for sure.
Speaking about trades, like get rid of all of the beef and drama.
Yeah, because
that's
Draymond and
happened.
Sabonis is like.
Because, well, first that not gonna work.
Yeah.
Second, the Vec would probably be sick with trading. The idea of trading Domas
Would he be sick?
to the Warriors.
He's got Zach.
No, the Vec would be so, like. This is one thing that the Vec would be a good man about, and not putting Domas on the Warriors.
I agree.
Because that would ruin his fan base, first of all. People would turn on him.
Yeah.
I wouldn't root for the Kings, honestly, for a good couple of years if we traded Domas to the Warriors.
It would get ugly,
Bro.
Zach, for sure. But I mean,
we got
Kuminga going forward.
Kuminga going forward, I would like Kuminga,
And
but we
still
could,
had JV.
we could also not trade.
Still have JP.
We could not trade Domas and also get Kuminga, I feel like.
No, we can't. Who do the Warriors want that we have? DeMar? Yeah, they want DeMar?
Honestly,
Hey,
give him DeMar.
if Jimmy's not taking shots, DeMar's going to take shots. That's for damn sure.
I saw stuff about
We don't even need to trade,
Yeah.
though. We could just get him here in free agency.
They're definitely,
no money to-
They don't want
it'd have to be
DeMar,
a
bro.
trade.
Kerr's already talking about how
yeah.
Kuminga and
probably end up
Butler
on,
and
like-
Curry and Green can't be on the floor at the same time.
Dude,
it's
those
gonna be the
lineups-
same thing when you get DeMar. Like
Those
They
lineups
don't
that
want
Steve
him.
Kerr was running, I mean, he didn't really have much else to do, but some of the times it was just ugly. It was Jimmy, Draymond, GP2,
no shooters,
Looney,
bro. No shooters.
Looney, and Jimmy. Like, oh my God,
It's a new era of Golden
5
State
guys that can't
basketball.
shoot the ball.
He's trying to move on from a
Yeah.
shooter
Right
era.
out.
Yeah.
Golden
Yeah,
State.
it's a 5 in. It's not 5 out.
I will say I had a really good time watching James just be depressed all day. on
he was
Wednesday.
struggling at El Tapatio.
Sorry, but shout out.
Yeah, I mean, Ann had 22 and 12 assists. Julius
didn't even
Randle
do
29.
nothing.
Yeah, Ann had 12 assists, so he was just diving all night. But,
Julius Randle, bro.
yeah, he's just been
He's
killing.
had, dude, all
What a
playoffs he's
playoff.
been solid.
And he just had a baby. So, you know,
shout out.
he's got that
Shout
bad
out.
strength now.
Dad string.
Yeah.
No, we were. I mean, at least I was talking shit about it.
Yeah.
I mean, a while
Shit, before I said, "Oh yeah, I'm not scared of a team."
Yeah.
Julius Randle's second option.
That's what everyone said
Yeah,
before the
words
playoffs started.
And
Yeah,
he just
so did
threw
I.
it back in our faces.
We had to put Draymond on Rudy Gobert and then have Jimmy on Randall or someone else on Randall.
Yeah,
and he
that's
was just going
crazy.
to work all game. But yeah, what's next for the Warriors? For me, I think sign and trade Kuminga. Hopefully we don't lose him for nothing. But I think trade that I saw is getting a guy like Cam Johnson.
Yeah.
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 Get Kuminga to Brooklyn. I think they would love that. I think they would do that straight up. Cam Johnson for Kuminga.
I can see that.
Yeah.
If the contracts work out. But yeah, that's really the only guy I could really think of that would be perfect for both teams.
This is obvious, but because Draymond said it and Steve Kerr said it at the exit interviews. They don't want Draymond to play center anymore. Like he was starting 5.
Not
How many
playoffs.
years have I heard that?
and I don't think he should be starting anymore. If you could build the roster in a way where you
Right.
don't have to say Draymond could be 6 man. Like at this point in his
Oh, my
career,
Lord.
bro, what did he do that
I
whole
could
Minnesota
see that,
Timberwolves
dude.
series?
Draymond was
Nothing.
far from the problem.
I mean, but if he's gonna be on the court, with no other offensive
Yeah.
play. Like, it just depends on what they build. But I
could
think
see that.
like Draymond could be a cold 6-man coming off the bench,
cold
especially with the just the way he plays, bro. Like, that's a Ron Artest in Sacramento coming off the bench right there.
No, I would hate that. But the problem with Draymond starting at your 4 and then getting a center, Draymond is already known as a non-shooter, and then you get a center, and most centers are not going to be known as shooters. Then that's just two guys who they play off of and make it easy to double
That's
step.
the point,
so it
too.
doesn't. I don't know where they go from here.
Get a bunch of bench players who just have good offensive games, and let Draymond run the point guard of the second unit, bro.
I mean, the problem wasn't necessarily the depth for this Warriors team, because when Steph was healthy, I still think they would have beat the Timberwolves. I'm dying on that hill.
I agree.
I mean, they won game 1 in 13 minutes that Steph played, but they had depth. They had 12 guys that deserved some minutes on their team, including like Guy Santos and Post and all that.
I just think it wasn't matched up as well.
But when Steph went out, it just was obvious that there was no
Backup point.
Yeah, there was no offense or anyone to run the show. It was really relying on Pods and Jimmy, which Jimmy didn't show up when we needed him. So
is that a bigger sign towards the Warriors being done?
I mean, yeah, it's getting there.
Yeah.
It's definitely getting there.
It's getting. They're gonna go for. They're gonna go for as long as Steph goes. But I think you could really extend like the longevity of Steph's like career if you get more guys around. Obviously,
Giannis.
like we saw what happened with Butler. No Giannis, bro. Stop talking about that.
Somehow,
I don't wanna see that.
some way.
I will
I know
literally.
James
You will never see me again.
Lakers will get Giannis and Jokic somehow.
But yeah, I think
Cheesing about
they can
it.
extend the later half of his career if they just, and it might not even be starters anymore or guys like Butler. It's bench players and guys who just fit into what you're trying to do around Steph. Because
Yeah.
it's never not going to be for as long as he's
Steph
there.
Curry show.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a good point. All right, well, we should move on to previewing the conference finals. Pacers at Knicks. Game 1 is Wednesday. Who we got in this series before it starts? Put your bets in now.
You know I'm a Pacers fan.
Okay, we'll stand on that then.
Give me Indiana in 6. I wanted to say 5, but I'll say 6. Indiana in
Okay.
6.
Hey, they look like this first or second best team this playoff, so I can't really say you're crazy.
Hey,
You're not
get-
really ridiculous to say that.
Get Mr. Halliburton back in the building and they won't lose. Like, I'm telling you.
As much as I would love to see the Pacers
That would be
upset
fun.
and go to the finals, it's going to be Knicks in
Don't do
Knicks
him
at
like
most.
that.
Yeah.
It's going to be a gentleman's sweep,
Okay.
I think, at best.
I can respect that. Who you going with? JB?
I've bet against the Pacers all playoffs.
Staying
And
with
they
it.
keep. But I said the same thing on the Knicks, so I'm gonna say Knicks at 6.
Yeah,
Honestly.
I'm going Knicks in 7. I think it's going to be a great series.
I think it's
Yeah.
7.
Shout out to
I think it's 7.
Damn.
I think the series is going to be
Bro.
the best that we've seen this playoffs. I
There
think it's
was
going to be
a-
back and forth.
There was a meme of Timothy Chalamet because I think he had
Oh, I know
Kylie
exactly what
and
you're
Kendall there the other day. He was like, he got 2 LA girls out there rooting for a New York team right now. This is crazy.
don't paraphrase.
He really
He
did.
got 2
LA
LA,
baddies, is that
born
what
and
it was?
raised LA baddies
That's what it was.
rooting for the New York Knicks. New York Knicks. He really is Lisan El Gaid.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's really a hoop fan though. I like seeing him courtside. He's so hyped. There's so many celebrities. coming to
Him,
New
Ben
York games.
Stiller, Sullivan.
Yeah.
Obviously Spike Lee.
That last game before the game started, they had like a 10
Tracy
minutes
Thomas.
straight of
Yeah.
just showing all the celebrities that were there. There was so many.
I said Tracy Thomas.
Tracy Morgan.
Yeah, Tracy Morgan.
Hey, he didn't throw up this game.
Tracy Morgan.
He didn't throw it.
He didn't throw up this time. But the average price for that Knicks game 6 last night was $1,700.
Average price?
Average price for
Imagine how many,
Yeah.
Nosebleeds.
the average ticket price for that game.
like for the non-celebs
$1,700.
who did sit like on the floor.
Yeah.
Imagine how much
That's what I was thinking too. And Spike Lee goes to every game, sits courtside.
Oh,
He
like,
doesn't. He doesn't
it's-
spend money.
Yeah, he
the
probably
celebs.
they-
Don't, the celebs don't spend money.
Really?
They get free tickets
At
to
least
show up.
him and
Courtside?
Ben
Yeah.
Stiller. Yeah.
Imagine.
Dude, they don't. Like,
We gotta get to that.
Because they
They don't-
literally do that every game, right?
Yeah,
The
it's
celeb
celeb.
him,
Yeah. Jack Nicholson doesn't pay for his tickets in LA. Like
Yeah.
none of those people
Shout out
pay
Jack.
for them.
Yeah,
Jack.
Timothy
Shout out
Chalamet. He got it, bro. He got
He
it.
got motion.
He
man.
got it.
He also got.
Okay, moving on. Timberwolves at Nuggets or Thunder. I'm going Timberwolves regardless.
Yeah.
Going
Timberwolves at 6
regardless.
regardless.
Wins.
Ants the one, bro.
Ants the
I think
one.
I'm
The
going
Wolves are winning the.
We're all
winning
going
the
Timberwolves.
finals.
I'm going
Yeah.
Timberwolves,
You're
dude.
saying they're winning the finals?
Nah, I'm saying the one.
What you think?
Oh, in the finals?
Yeah, well, if they make it.
Well, no, I'm just saying that.
If it's Timberwolves Knicks, which we're pretty much all predicting,
Oh.
except Dev, yeah, the Pacers make it.
I'm going Timberwolves just because.
Damn.
Well, I would love the Knicks to win.
Yeah.
First, because New York City would burn to the ground and
The videos last night were crazy.
Yeah,
And,
last
like,
night was even crazy.
but I just think like with the Timberwolves, they have the starting lineup to match up with the Knicks starting lineup pretty much, and then the bench goes even deeper.
The
that can
Timberwolves
help
have a
out.
better bench.
Their
They have
8-man
a
is
great
yeah,
bench.
legit.
They have
They
probably
do.
the best 8-man in the playoffs. So it's
Dante.
like
Shout out, even though you're
Nas
ass
Reed.
here.
Dante, Nas Reed, and
bro,
Nikhil. It's a great bench.
Dante's gonna be laughing. I mean, he's also gonna bring shed a tear of sadness, but he's gonna.
Oh
That
yeah,
commercial.
because that whole thing with
The
him
whole
and Rick
Villanova
Brunson
boys,
too.
man.
Oh,
Like,
I forgot about
Because
that.
last time they played each other in New York, I think he was talking to Rick Brunson.
preseason.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
preseason.
Oh yeah, he's gonna have a chip on his shoulder.
So he's
Yeah.
gonna-
Final.
Oh, he's
And then
Yeah.
he's gonna be trying to beat his boys
Yeah.
to get the ring.
That
So
commercial though, where it's like, "Here, catch Dante." That's going to be played like 1,000 times if they play in the finals. That's going to be hilarious. Well, yeah. So that's our preview of the conference finals. Well, I guess we should move on to Luke's lock of the week.
Last week was the man out in the Big Apple, Jalen Brunson.
Yeah,
This
we
week,
started the argument.
He's top 3.
the famous argument.
this week we are going to the Mile High City.
Okay.
Nikola Jokic,
Well deserved.
over the last 4 games in this Thunder series, 30 points per game, 14.5 rebounds, 5.5 assists.
God, only 5.5 assists.
Only 5.5 assists,
low
but
for
that's
him.
because he dropped 45 and 32 the other game.
He's scoring.
He's scoring.
Yeah. Will Chamberlain.
But I know this doesn't have anything to do with regular season, but man is MVP.
No, speak on it because
Man is MVP.
I was about
He's the best player in the league.
I didn't want to interrupt you, but I was about to say they haven't
haven't
announced that
announced it?
MVP
Yeah.
yet.
Announce
Somebody
it
said take
before
that
game
trophy.
7.
That's what-
Nah, somebody said take that
Who have a
trophy,
chip on their shoulder.
hang it above the court. Whoever wins. gets that.
That'd
Whoever
be
wins
pretty-
walks out with it.
Nah,
That would be really
but
cool.
Dude knows what it means to lock in.
Yeah.
Like, he knows
He
what
definitely does.
And, I mean, I think that's probably why Ron was saying that the Nuggets are going to win tomorrow night. It's because Jokic is going to turn up. They
Yeah.
have that championship mentality right there.
He's the best player in the whole NBA.
Yes.
It's we say it every week, but I don't know how he does it, man. Some of the shots he hits are just
Dude, that one
out
shot
of
against
this
the
world.
Thunder.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
where he, off the one leg, it's
He's
crazy.
Put him in sack and we'd be there right now.
Hitting the back of his head with the ball and throwing it, and it just
I only
cracks.
all
experienced
that.
that for 2
Yeah,
years.
yeah, you
Yeah.
definitely have seen the best of Jokic.
Then
Yeah.
he ain't gonna be on your.
Put him in sack and we'd be in the playoffs
No,
right
see,
now.
I need Denver to
We'd be
win
in the finals.
the championship low key, so Jokic don't leave and go to LA.
Oh my God,
Honestly.
you're thinking in the future, and I
Let's
like
go
it.
OKC.
Yeah, now you want them to lose. Jokic gonna force his way out. Yeah, well, I guess we can move on to ICU. My pick for this week, I already talked about him, was Julian Strother. Definitely gonna need a big night out of him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just fun to watch, man. When he's playing, he got the crowd hyped into it, just making things happen on both ends, shooting the ball. He's a perfect player to have alongside Jokic. He can catch and shoot. He can create his own shot. He's very important for that Nuggets team. He was on my top 5 breakout players before the year started, Julian Strother.
Actually, I do remember that.
Yeah. Shout out to him.
Mine's not much of a sleeper, but Christian Brown.
Yeah.
Like, dude,
Love his game.
Yeah, no, I love that. Love that guy. He turns up. He reminds me of a young Russell Westbrook. So
That
Yeah.
feisty.
that feisty.
Yeah.
I mean, and then he throws it down.
Yeah, he doesn't back down either.
He doesn't back down.
I got one.
Okay. Don't say it.
We'll get into it later. We'll get into it.
Say it.
Wilmer.
Oh my God. Wilmer Flores. 3 home runs last night.
Me too.
We gave it to
Pretty
him.
sure he had every RBI. On
Yeah.
9-1
We
final.
had to give it to him for Grandpa Wilmer.
Yeah,
he's,
Grandpa
Yeah,
Wilmer.
that's old man.
he's old man.
Grandpa Wilmer. He definitely well
He's
deserved.
actually like low key really a fan favorite too, like the last couple of years. So that's like, to see your fan favorites on your teams do good, it makes you
Yeah.
feel a little bit better. So
Yeah.
shout out.
Yeah, man. A's got lit up yesterday. Nothing new. The Dodgers started the trend last week.
We talk about that later.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a
We
little
don't talk
bit.
about it twice.
Well, yeah. So, who are the most important player on the final remaining teams? We'll start with the Knicks. Who's the most important player on the team?
Josh Hart.
Josh Hart. I love it. I'm going Cat.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
need
okay.
consistency out of Cat.
Yeah.
It's really up to him. Last game he came out super aggressive, and that just took the Knicks to a whole nother level. He still has some bonehead plays where Tibbs just can't stand him. And Mitchell Robinson has even more of those bonehead plays. So it's like, there was a time where Mitchell Robinson came in the game in the first quarter. I think he played 1 minute. He got like 2 rebounds, got to the free throw line, made one, missed one, and then right away took him right out because he just can't do anything on offense.
Yeah.
But then
Damn.
Cat can't do anything on defense sometimes. So I think he's the X factor.
No, the reason I got Josh Hart is he can guard any position
Yeah,
pretty much.
that's true.
Like, he can be anywhere on the court, and then he also comes up with huge shots when he gets his number called.
Yeah.
Like, every time I've seen him in the clutch, he pops up in the corner, and it's just like, oh, damn.
Yeah.
Like, oh.
He's
and then,
just a dog.
He's a dog.
And then his strength, too. He rips... who did he rip the ball out, the hands out of the other game to shut down against the Celtics? It was...
Was it Derek White?
No, it was Jaylen Brown.
Oh, it was Jaylen Brown?
It was Jaylen Brown. They threw the ball across the court. Josh Hart jumped up, bam, ripped out his hands, and closed out the game. I think he's going to come up with more of those moments.
He might be
in
the
this-
best rebounding guard I've ever seen.
Yeah.
That too.
Yeah.
Also, Duncan, you said Josh Hart was like a second tier player. Man is averaging a double as a shooting guard
Crazy.
Literally
with
can't
rebounds,
stand
not assists.
Yeah, with rebounds.
Can't stand him.
And he has the stitches. He got elbowed
He's
or
got a
whatever.
black eye.
Yeah, black eye. He's going through it. But most important player on the Knicks, Josh Hart or
I'll go OG.
I
OG?
knew he was going to say OG. I knew it.
Put him on Tyrese, bro.
Yeah, they probably
Set
will.
the tone, bro. Let's come out game 1. I'm a Pacers fan, but if I'm speaking in terms of what the Knicks need to do, I'm on Tyrese.
Yeah, it's a good point.
Set the tone, baby.
You said Cat as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cat. All right. Well, for the other East team, the Pacers, who's the most important player?
Miles Turner.
I mean, we have him in the thumbnail. We got to say Tyrese Halliburton.
I would say Tyrese.
Got him on the thumbnail. But
I would say Tyrese, but
Andrew Nembhard. Give me
Nembhard. Oh, Miles Turner.
Miles Turner.
I'm,
You can go down.
I'm saying Pascal, man.
Pascal. Need him to average 25.
I mean, if they
That's
all
the
keep
thing.
playing how they've been playing, they're gonna have a
Just
good shot.
playing
Yeah.
team basketball.
They play
Yeah.
team.
that's why I wasn't going to say
There's not one
team.
Tyrese, because
Yeah.
like Tyrese doesn't need to drop 20 points to win.
Yeah.
Like, he can facilitate the whole court and
Yeah.
get other guys 30 balls.
I was
and
saying somebody the other day, it's a lot like how Tyrese plays like Nash. Right?
Yeah.
It's very similar.
Mm-hmm.
It reminds me a lot of like those Suns teams with like Nash and Stoudemire and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
That's your boy.
Amari
Nash.
Stoudemire? Oh, Steve.
No, he was on the Pat McAfee show. I think I was watching on Friday yesterday.
Hallie was?
Yeah,
Oh.
they just had him on after they clinched, and
Yeah.
he was like, I mean, I feel like I'm the last of a dying breed. Or
Damn.
that's who I try to play like. That's who I try to play like.
Damn.
And that's what I
respect
focus
it.
on.
I like it.
So,
That's actually really true. I don't
Yeah.
know someone as good as at passing as
As like a
Tyrese is.
playmaking
Like,
What's
aspect
your
too.
point guard?
that's really
Like-
what they're looking at
Yeah.
first.
yeah,
Most point guards are trying to get there at 25. And
Yeah.
that's
that's
it.
the thing.
That's
Yeah.
it. Yeah, that's a good point. Dying breed.
Didn't even
Well,
notice that.
on the Timberwolves side, who's the most important player on that team?
Jaden McDaniels.
Jalen McDaniels.
Damn. Oh, Julius Randle.
Yeah, I was
I'm
going to say
going
Randall.
Got him on
I
the
think.
thumbnail as well.
Randall is very important, yes.
Yeah.
But he's been so solid that just like, and I feel like McDaniels is kind of like J-Dub. I mean, it's one game.
Yeah.
That Anthony Day-to-Day Davis, So,
Yeah.
I mean, if he can if he can put together a consistent series, then I think the Wolves are going to have a good chance to make and win the finals. Like I said, they're my
Damn.
pick. So
That's true.
Actually, now that I think about it, I hate to say it, but Rudy might be.
Rudy is definitely a big
that's a good
part.
one. That's a good one.
Rudy's defense.
Can't get taken out of the game.
Like, he
Rudy,
cannot
if,
be
he
taken
guard,
out
if
of
he's
the game.
guarding Jokic, yeah,
Like,
he
that's the
can't get
thing.
in foul trouble.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
has to be able to stay on the floor.
That's
Like,
why that's why they were so good against Nuggets last year. It was a double big.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's
So-
going to be heavily Nas Reed and Jokic.
But
Or
Randall,
Nas Reed and
also can hold his own.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
he's arguably stronger than Cat. Not as tall, but
his defense is also very suspect off
It
ball,
is, yeah.
which is going to be a problem because we know how good the
Jokic.
offense is
Yeah.
off ball with Gordon and Porter
Mhm.
Jr. and stuff.
all the cuts. Yeah,
Damn.
that's true. So
I
I'm
need-
going Randall. You're going Rudy.
I
I'm
think I'm
going
going Rudy.
McDaniels. You're going McDaniels. Okay. All right. Well, we got to go through the last two teams. The Nuggets, most important player.
Jamal.
Yeah.
They need playoff Jamal, dude.
Yeah.
They need him.
I
I
agree.
think you were right. Well, I don't know if you said specifically most important, but Christian Brown.
Yeah, Christian
Christian
Brown.
Brown is, yeah.
I can agree with
He's
that.
up there.
I would say Aaron Gordon, but
Injury.
I mean, he had 5 points last game.
Well,
and
we
he's injured,
kinda-
so.
We kind of aren't expecting that much from him already,
Yeah,
right?
'cause of
Like,
his
if he is
injury.
going to play, we know he's playing injured.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I'm saying
That's where you
Strother
need the other
/
guys.
Peyton Watson. That's my pick.
Okay.
One of those guys has to have a big night.
I'm gonna say Russ.
Ooh,
He needs to
that's
be
a
good.
wild card.
He needs to be
Yeah.
good.
No
Because
dunk.
if his defense and energy isn't there, where he's not contributing in a positive way,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sick of the announcers talking so much about the negative. They're like, man, we know what the negatives Russell brings, but then he also has positives. Like, you don't have to say that.
no, Russ.
You don't have to say that. You can just talk about the positives. We know he's shooting 3 for 12 from the field, but he just had a putback layup that put the Nuggets up 5. Like, all his putbacks, I feel like he's always in the right spot.
And he's also the only
Hustles.
damn player besides Wilt Chamberlain to average a triple-double in the whole season.
And Jokic.
And Jokic.
Oh, yeah,
Jokic
yeah.
Now Jokic, yeah.
He did it twice though.
But
He's
have
done
you
it
seen
twice.
that picture of Westbrook's hand?
What is
Oh,
this?
yeah,
How
they're
taped
so-
up it is?
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Is it
Bro,
bad?
I genuinely think he has damage in his hands from all the dunks he did when he was younger.
Yeah, that's it.
Last
Because
game,
look,
yeah.
Look at
bruised
the difference
on the
after
knuckles.
that
That
year
makes
with the
sense.
Rockets.
Yeah.
Because of how good he was and efficient.
Mhm.
The year after, his just efficiency.
Well,
That
and he
makes
was
sense.
yeah.
a good mid-range shooter too in
Yeah.
his prime, and he doesn't even do
And
that.
finishing
anymore
has
well.
decreased.
Yeah.
His ball handling has decreased a ton. It's just it
I
looks.
saw that same exact.
I really
thing.
think that his hands are just like nerve-wise stuff.
I agree. And there was a play where I think Julian Strother drove to the hoop, got fouled, missed the layup, and Russ was right there, and he tried to put back dunk it. It looked like prime Russ, but he missed the dunk.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, I was thinking like old Russ would have dunked that easily.
Like, yes,
But it was like
age.
he put it back, and in his hand, that just messes up
Dude,
everything.
Yeah, it would tear the rim
Yeah.
off.
I'm
bro.
getting sad thinking about this.
Hey,
man.
he's still
No,
hooping, that's for sure.
I'm getting sad.
He's still doing what he can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's still been
no.
a positive against everybody else's thoughts and
was-
ideas of him. Now he's been positive for them this
He
playoffs.
definitely has.
Thinking
More or
about
less.
just like sitting down with my kids in the future, and it's just like, Dad, show me who your favorite player was.
We're getting too sentimental for me right now. Yeah, I'm gonna.
Steph Curry highlights are
That's gonna be me. I'm gonna show the kids the first 8 years of De'Aaron Fox's.
Oh,
That could make a grown man cry.
that's gonna.
Don't show me any Beam Team edits, please. I'm tired of
I
it.
don't want to see any for
I'm
about 10
so
years.
tired of those edits. They literally get me going every time.
Beam team.
Always
Yeah.
relating it back.
Always relating back to the
Have
game.
to.
Hey, they play like the 2002 Kings.
I didn't even say that.
I know.
the 2002
Well, the Thunder. Who's the most important player on the Thunder? J-Dub.
Russell
J-Dub,
Westbrook.
yeah.
J-Dub.
Russell Westbrook.
Franchise history. Yeah.
KD. J-Dub.
Yeah. J-Dub.
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 It has to be.
Unanimous, or you
Yeah.
got someone else?
Unanimous.
Go.
Mark Daniel.
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 Daniel. Yeah.
I didn't say Daniel. I said Daniel.
It is hard to say.
It's hard
What is
to say.
it? What is it? Dagnall.
Dagnall.
I don't know.
Yeah, probably J-Dub, honestly.
Yeah, probably.
There's not really. I mean, SGA is going to drop his 30 a game, probably,
Yeah.
out there.
That's
But,
true.
The role players will have 10.
Yeah, it's not really anything. Chet, I guess.
Chet's been solid.
He's
though.
been solid.
He's
he
been
needs to
averaging
keep
like
that up.
15 and 19.
Yeah, that's
But
pretty
J-Dub
solid.
just hasn't done anything.
Yeah.
Besides one game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In that one game, I texted you guys when he got stripped.
Honestly,
Yeah.
And you were like, he has 33.
That was so.
But that was because I just got off work and turned it on. But then I had to rewatch it to be like, oh, he's actually hooping
was
all game. Like, what was I talking about? But yeah.
But now it's just a series. I'm like, has gone on. I'm like, yeah, Tyler was
Yeah,
right.
He's not the number 2 on the championship
maybe
team.
Lou, if he gets enough shots up.
It really might be a James Harden situation if they lose this year.
Lou Dort.
They've been.
Hate Ludor.
Look on this door.
All right, well, before we move on to the lottery, who we got winning it all? Picking the Knicks.
T-Wolf.
Put your bets in now.
Timberwolves.
You're going T-Wolves.
Yeah.
I want to see New York City.
I want to see it on fire. I want to see that on fire.
I want to see the
Bro, did
Knicks.
you see
Spider-Man's going to have to come out and take the
Spider-Man.
city.
Dude,
Did you see the video of somebody went up
Batman's gonna
to
have to leave Gotham.
somebody went up to Wendy right, and they were like, "Why do you think the Knicks? Why do you think the who lost the series? Why do you think they lost the series?" And he didn't even answer anything. Video was
Bing
so-
bong.
Bing bong.
And bro just looked down
Saw
and
a
like,
video.
If you see these dogs in the yard, just know I'm going up. Going up.
That was good.
I saw a video. It was like there was a Tyrese Halliburton. There was a guy with a Tyrese Halliburton jersey in the streets,
Oh,
and there was a bunch of Knicks
no.
fans. Bro got jumped so bad. I was like,
God.
Yeah.
It's okay.
You don't want to.
I hope
you don't
he's
want
okay.
to. I saw a video of a Celtics guy walking through the streets, and like, I
that's fine.
respect to him
Bro.
for walking through it. Like, he was looking like a normal white boy like us, and it's just like, boom.
So out to the MSG crowd, bruh. In sync, perfectly clear. The na whole stadium.
That was crazy.
Bro. That was sick.
It's
No
admirable.
fans left
It's
before like it ended. Yeah.
It's admirable to see a fan base like
Yeah.
this, like going so hard.
Atmosphere-wise,
It was
Number
sick.
one.
the best like playoff or final series would be the Knicks and the
And the Kings.
Thunder.
Thunder.
Thunder
yeah.
do have a
The
crazy
atmosphere would be
That would be
amazing.
Thunder, they get rocking, but
Our atmosphere,
I
I
just
feel
don't
like
think anyone would really care if OKC won at all. That's like the problem.
Everybody expected it,
but
like,
no one would even care.
nobody
nobody would
outside
care.
of OKC would
No
give
one
a fuck.
outside of OKC would
No.
be like really that
We'll
hyped.
never get there.
yeah, nobody out of OKC, nobody out of
2084.
each city would really care
That's what
what's
AI
regardless
said.
of these teams. They're all,
I mean,
they're all
the
small
Knicks-
market teams aside the Knicks.
The Knicks, yeah,
But the
that's
Knicks
true.
haven't won shit since
Pacers,
70.
that's true, but the Pacers
One.
Pacers
Yeah.
are just such a historical basketball
Yeah.
team that like
Yeah.
they've been eliminated from the conference finals since the '80s and haven't been.
It's 97
They haven't won
times.
anything ever.
They haven't won anything ever for that.
Shout out Malice. We were just talking about that.
Yeah, shout out
Tyrese-
Malice
you know what? Shout out Tyrese Halliburton. More conference final
Shout
appearances than the Clippers franchise as a whole.
and Joel Embiid.
And Joel Embiid.
And the Kings.
And the Kings.
The whole franchise
Well,
history, probably not.
Recently,
Well, they probably have
In the
3.
last,
They won
10
one.
years,
Got
15
to
years.
the 2002 one.
since we've been alive, yes.
Shout out.
all right. Well, Jackson, was the draft lottery rigged? Got to ask you. It's a new segment. Ask Jackson. We went over it on Wednesday. We all agreed. The odds of it
hard.
happening were 1 in 7,530 or something.
It's like the fact that it's
Yeah,
happened multiple
something
times. The,
Sorry.
the fact that it's happened multiple times though, when stars will leave cities, like the Mavericks this year, Zion and the Pelicans the other year when AD left, Kyrie with the Cavs after Braun left. Somebody else I'm missing. Somebody.
CP3. Something about
CP3 with the Hornets.
It was.
Yeah.
It was when the Hornets when he left the
Patrick
Hornets. They
Ewing
got
with the
it.
Knicks was definitely. They
That-
even said
That was the
rigged.
OG.
Literally-
rig.
That was the OG rigged one. Yeah, where he was like, okay.
You know the Mike I wanted to give him a shout out. Mike Korzemba. He showed me 15 years ago that draft was rigged
Yeah.
by doing his deep dive into it. So
That's pretty.
There
Shout
was,
out to Mike.
there was also talks like the Magic one when they got Penny.
yeah.
It's just
Bulls.
LeBron said it on Pat
D-Rose.
McAfee.
Bulls
Yeah,
with D
Bulls
Rose.
with D-Rose.
LeBron with the Cavs.
Yeah,
Come
it's
on.
like come on. I really do think
My
that
birthday.
like there was no like Nico Harris didn't do anything,
Yeah.
but I think the
He sold
league,
it.
there was something there. Well, then he would have had to said, "Oh yeah, Kyrie's tearing his ACL."
See, that's what I brought up.
So like if he had known Kyrie, that was the only thing he would have needed to know was
When you-
Kyrie tearing his ACL.
When you sell, you gotta sacrifice something, man.
Sacrifice Luca.
He did.
That's
but-
true.
Yeah, that's a good point. Because if the Mavs made the playoffs, they wouldn't have had a chance to get. the
Yeah,
number
they
one pick.
didn't. Yeah, if
So-
Kyrie doesn't tear his ACL, so it's all.
If they won that game against the Grizzlies, they wouldn't have had this chance.
I don't
That's
think there was
kinda
any.
it.
I don't think there was any like predisposed like agreement.
No.
I think that there might be some. I do think there is some. It is rigged a little bit to the sense of like
Yeah.
there was 4 teams with way better like top odds like 13.5% or something, and they all fell to like 4, 5, 6 or 3, 4, 5, 6.
3 teams didn't get 20 wins, and
They fell to 4, 5, and 6.
They fell.
Yeah, and then the top.
the track I was on too. Because I mean, I don't think there was that. Adam Silver was like, Nico, bro, give Luka to the LA and you'll get that number 1.
But then again, it's like
Like
the
you said,
numbers
once that
for that
happens,
slot
yeah.
would have been it would have gone to the Bulls if they had lost one more game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's hard to say like, well, would it still, it's like,
There was also a coin flip because they
Yeah.
had the same record. So, and the Mavs won the coin flip, and then they got the number 1 pick.
See, this is what they're feeding y'all. It's rigged.
I just
It's
think
definitely rigged.
It's
just
they're
do-
feeding it both
I saw something was like,
go back to doing the damn bingo balls on live
Live.
TV.
they said the
Like,
last
that
was the
number,
best way to do
the
it,
last number was, so the first 3 were the same for the Blazers and the Mavericks, they said. So it would have been between those 2 for the first pick.
That's
If
crazy.
that-
Blazers got like 11.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. It's like,
2.
Oh my god, that makes me more mad than anything. The
the
Spurs.
Spurs getting 2 is,
I'm turning into a Spurs
I
hater.
feel like that's more rigged than the number
Never
1.
thought I would hate on the Spurs.
I hate the Spurs.
Well, also what they traded
so good.
Kawhi to Toronto. Kawhi won a championship. 3 years later, they get Flynn.
Yeah, it's just not fair, man. Why can't the Kings
The
get that
second
luck?
ever first pick they've ever had.
number 1 picks though.
Yeah,
2 and 3 years is
Crazy.
kind of ridiculous.
kind of ridiculous.
But then again, the Sixers did. back-to-back
but
years.
they were still bad.
They got Ben Simmons and Markelle Fultz.
Oh yeah, Markelle Fultz. Shout out. They traded for that.
Oh yeah, from
They
the
traded-
Celtics.
yeah.
Yeah, because they had 3.
Yeah, but you said why didn't the Kings like the rigged? It's all rigged, and they want to get people in their hometown. And you said, well, why didn't the Kings get Jared McCain? We
they
could have.
like us, right?
We could have.
We could have.
He was on the board when we drafted Devin Carter. I realized that driving home last show. We could have got Jared McCain, and we got
Could've
Devin
gotten
freaking Carter.
We can't say.
So?
We can't.
I'd rather
Say,
Jared
Where?
hang on. Hang on.
Yeah, Khalil Ware.
But we can't really like blame us for not drafting Jared McCain because on the board when he's getting drafted, he wasn't a top prospect.
The only reason I wanted to stay away from him.
Rounder.
The only
He
reason I
wasn't,
wanted to stay
but,
away
like-
from him
Them damn
was because of the
TikToks.
off-court activities. Everything on the court
You
would have been a way better fit than Devin
You were
Carter.
mad about the TikTok videos?
I mean, it just scares me because we've never seen an NBA player come in that was that into the social media aspect and like posting
That's the way it's
that
going.
type of videos every day.
It's kids now.
And we've
It's
never
era.
seen that. Yeah, I know. He's the start of the new era.
Yeah.
He really is. He's the first
Shit's
TikToker to
childish.
be really nice in the NBA.
That
I think
shit's
the Thunder
childish.
team as a whole was the start of the era.
I mean,
'Cause they're
Shai,
like,
there's videos of Shai dancing on TikTok, but he wasn't like as popular as McCain is.
I mean, I feel like McCain had his whole social media thing before.
Yeah,
It was
it's
already
kind of a
going.
stupid argument.
So-
I think
Like,
if they could-
it's just kind of like whatever.
I know. What I was saying is like Jared McCain wasn't a top prospect when we were on the draft board at that time.
Yeah.
We were going.
He was
top
around the
prospect.
same as Devin Carter.
He was around the same.
It
But
was- yeah.
We were also looking for a defensive mindset guard.
Listen.
Jared McCain is not a defensive.
You had
mindset.
one.
I
Like,
still would have been
He's
mad
good.
if they
you had
drafted
one,
Jared
and
McCain.
then you traded him.
What did you say?
I still would have been mad. Why the fuck are we drafting another point guard?
Yeah, I know, Jackson.
We had Davion Mitchell. Is that what you said?
and then you traded him for
We'll let him flourish. I mean,
Jalen
Dude,
McDaniel.
I would
Yeah,
he's
do-
the
and then-
wrong one.
And then
I
gave
would
up
do-
a second-round pick to get him off the roster.
Yeah.
bro.
I would do anything for Davion Mitchell to be back on this team right now.
I don't know.
Bro would
man.
be
we
starting
wouldn't be
point
any different.
Hey,
Yeah,
no.
He would be better than
He'd be
fucking
good.
Remember when he was starting when De'Aaron was hurt, bro? He was averaging like 18.
He was cooking.
18.
He was cooking.
Devin Carter
He
would
was
do so
cooking
much,
for the Heat.
so much
I
better
love
on
him.
this team.
He's gonna finish his
With-
career in the Heat though.
Like the rest of the team we have now, we would be doing so much better.
Yeah. I mean, I can't argue that. We probably would.
We
He
just
made the
suck,
Heat
bro.
better.
I'm
He
I'm
definitely
just
did.
tired of him.
Yeah, well, I guess time to close out some baseball talk. It's the A's and the Giants series. Me and Deb got some money and some push-ups on this. Yeah, you better hope the Giants win these next two. You better get ready. But yeah, last night got ugly in SF. Wilmer Flores 3 home run game. Three home runs.
Yep.
Hit a grand slam, a 3-run homer, and then I think a 2-run homer.
Nah, solo.
Solo. So.
I needed him to
Crazy.
get up for another at-bat home run.
Oh my god. Yeah, so shout out to Luke for fixing the sign. But yeah, Wilmer Flores, 3 home run game. Not much more to say about that. But the A's are going to win the next 2. And
Yeah.
I'm confident in that.
Easy.
Logan Webb finally got some run support, I guess you
Yeah,
could say.
that was insane.
Yeah.
Who's pitching tonight?
Severino for the A's.
Severino and Root.
Ooh.
Oh, Root
Yeah.
switching? Okay. Yeah, so we definitely got that.
Verlander will probably pitch tomorrow, I think.
Oh, yeah, we got
Nice.
that. That's easy dubs.
Bang.
Verlander,
That's easy dubs.
Verlander said he's going for 300 wins.
I
He
forgot.
has not got one this year.
He doesn't have a win?
How many games?
Bro, he
Not too
pitched
many.
3 really good games where they have the lead when he exits, and then
The bullpen.
it gets tied, and
Yeah.
then they win the game, even though
He won't get
then
the win.
win doesn't go to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I mean, the 4.31 ERA doesn't look really good, but I mean, he's been. I'm not mad.
I forgot this was coming out tomorrow, so hopefully that the A's do win, and I don't look like when this comes out because I'm saying the A's are going to win the next 2. So yeah, the A's better win tonight. Dodgers though, the A's in that one series, how they looking? Who they playing right now?
Looking like
They're
Shohei's
hurt.
be a goddamn MVP.
Very
lot of
hurt.
injuries.
Their bullpen's cooked. Their
Yeah.
starters are cooked. Besides Yamamoto.
Hey, Kershaw's back.
Shout out Kershaw Day. You know,
Love Kershaw.
he celebrate.
They're playing the
I
Angels
celebrate.
Battle of LA right now.
Yeah, they lost last game 6-2 after going 19-2 against you guys. It
To
was
the
very
Angels?
annoying. Yeah.
6-2.
We grounded into like 6 double plays.
Oh,
I was like, bro, that's just.
They're getting
It's one of those unlucky days.
Yeah.
James Outman is never going to see the light of day in the majors again. He's
Bro,
terrible.
he's back up.
Yeah, he actually had a homer against the A's, and I was like,
Damn.
oh, this is one of those games, okay. And then he didn't get hit last game, even though he was allowed basically 5 strikes in the strike zone, one at bat. I was like, okay. Hai-Sean Kim, love that guy. He's the perfect 9-hole for
Right.
us. He's batting like 440 right now. He
Damn.
has 9 straight on base like at bats.
Damn.
That's the most by a rookie since Corey Seager.
Jesus. He's
Since the other rookie the Dodgers had that
He's
one
hooping.
time. I don't even
Yeah.
want to.
The rest of our batting, I mean, Freddie's having an MVP caliber year too.
Yeah.
He's basically like second or third in MVP voting in the NL.
y'all are stacked, man. Stacked, even with the injuries.
Just need the pitching to come back because our starters are now
Hope they all have Tommy
Yamamoto,
John.
Dustin May, and Tony Gonsolin, and 39-year-old Kershaw.
Damn.
Oh
Yeah, well.
my gosh.
What? Shohei playing good?
I was just about to talk
He's
to
leading
Shohei.
homers,
Not surprised.
batting 320.
Not surprised.
Just about to talk about Shohei.
Yeah.
It was Thursday night when the A's beat him 11-1.
Yeah.
Or no, this is when we lost to him. Sorry. But it was Shohei bobblehead night,
Yeah.
and then Johnny Pereda comes up and strikes him out.
Hey, that was a highlight too.
I was like,
Really?
He threw gas.
Dude, he was throwing like 60
Yeah.
miles an hour to him, and then the last one was
hit.
high gear, 84 miles an
Yeah.
hour.
First changeup, bro. He looked like he was gonna lob it, and then at the last second,
boom,
darted
that
it, and it was like
yeah.
83.
Might have
Yeah.
put it back
I
on.
did
see that. Pereda began that bat, straight pitches, 60 and 70 miles per hour. First called strike, and then high and outside. Threw a curveball, 2 more sliders.
Hey.
Tommy fouled it off. And then the last one, 89 miles an
Bro,
hour. Fucking.
that's a position player at 90, bro.
That was posted everywhere.
That
Like
was-
the A's won. I was kind of
Yeah.
annoyed. Like, okay, I get it. Like, it was every
It was
time,
still-
every post I saw was.
I mean,
damn.
when the best player in MLB,
Yeah.
possibly history at some point, gets struck out by a
you want to know-
backup position player.
if he wins another MVP, he damn near might be. That's
Yeah,
4.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
I always
No,
wonder why, like, well, Barry Bonds won 4 too, and he also has the home run
Okay,
record,
well,
but you know.
Otani pitches.
He has like 6 gold gloves too, but we won't get into that.
Uh-oh.
500 stolen bases.
Not
We
the Hall
won't
of
get into
Fame,
that. We won't get into that. We won't get into that.
What if Shohei was on roids? That would be
Not. I mean, that would be great.
it'd be crazy.
If everybody else was taking roids and Shohei was like, "Damn, I should do that just to show how much better they are,"
Look,
I would respect
All
that.
respect to Barry Bonds, but Shohei's gonna surpass him so fast.
Now he needs to stop pitching, and then, like, that's what
Why?
Barry Bonds said. He was
But
like,
why?
he just should stop pitching.
Why?
Because
Why?
that's like one day a week where you're not hitting and whatever. You're focused on something else. You
So?
could have more arm. He had, literally had
Do you know
Tommy
how many
John.
games of baseball there are?
Bro, he literally had Tommy John, and there was months where he
He's
couldn't
not supposed to
hit,
pitch
and then
till
came
like,
back the
after
next year.
All-Star break, so like
But
July.
he just shouldn't. Oh, do not pitch.
Wait,
You
question.
could steal more bases. You
six-man
could get your
rotation.
body.
He will
It's
pitch like
okay.
once a
Okay.
week.
If
He's just too good. I'm sorry.
if
I
he
understand what you're saying.
if he does pitch, like, is he allowed to hit that day?
Yeah, he can still DH.
I thought so.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what they said.
So he can still hit on the days that he pitches. So,
so
I don't
they
think
got
he
rid of
will,
the
though.
universal.
Yeah,
They-
maybe.
I think
not.
they will probably DH like Conforto
Yeah.
or Tio at those days, but
come playoff
This is
time.
what-
though.
this is
Need
what-
him in the lineup.
yeah, in
Yeah.
the lineup he'll probably DH.
Yeah.
This is what I feel like they should make an MLB. Is like they got the universal DH, but like instead of having they got the DH. Why not just be able to sub out like the DH and said like, all right, our pitcher's gonna hit instead because there's gonna be more
Yeah.
pitchers.
You can. Like, you can relinquish the DH.
Oh, you can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Giants just had to do it the other day because Bob Melvin's stupid.
Close.
Literally dumb.
Sleepy Bob.
Can't stand, bro. And
Who
they
did
had
he
to
let
relinquish
hit?
the DH. I don't even know, bro. They were fielding and they were like, Giants aren't gonna have a DH anymore. Bob Melvin relinquished.
That is
I'm
horrible.
like, you don't... all right, whatever. We'll go with that.
Yeah. Well.
You can't do that.
You guys won, didn't you?
I don't know. I was just so upset when I heard that. I was like, this guy's got to be
That's
on
hilarious.
something right now.
Shout out Pareda though. For
Yeah,
striking
shout out. I like him as backup
Oh,
catcher.
Tony.
But all right. Anything else before we close out? This was a fun episode of Beam City Sports. It's been a minute since we've been at the bar.
I got pee.
Last bar episode we recorded in slow motion, so that was my
Yeah.
bad. This one definitely a lot better.
We were in Kyle Anderson.
We were in Anderson mode.
Sac Republic plays
We were
tonight
fully in
against
college.
Las Vegas. They will be in Las Vegas. Also, the other day, Sac Republic was down 1-0 like the whole game, and then it came down to the last minute, and we had a penalty, and we tied it in the last
Hey.
minute.
and it was a tie.
Of course.
This was good. This was good
Hey,
because
ties are better than
we
loss.
were losing the whole game
Yeah.
instead of winning the whole game and tying in the last
Hey.
second. We
Nice.
tied
The
in
loss
last second.
column didn't go up, baby.
Dude,
That's
yeah.
all I'm hearing.
We are 2 wins, 4 draws, and 2 losses.
Oh my lord.
But we are still only 2 games behind first place.
And that's a 500 ball
like,
club.
Not bad.
That's a 500 ball club.
That's 500 ball.
That's 500.
All right. Well, shout out to Jackson for graduating. Let's go.
Let's go.
Congrats.
Shout out Jackson.
In the
Thank you.
school of Shaq and Mikey Williams, you came out on
Sacramento.
top.
Sacramento
Shaq
State.
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 Love it. All right. Well, we're gonna close out. Go
Stingers up,
subscribe.
baby. Stingers
Go
up.
subscribe.
How you do that?
It was like,
Stingers
I think it's
up.
like this, bro. I went there for 2 years. I don't even know.
Go subscribe.